All right, welcome to this video. Glad to have you here. I'm sure you clicked on this video because you want to learn more about knee pain. That's what we're going to discuss today.
100%.
Both struggle with knee pain. Liam, 5 years of chronic knee pain, snapped kneecap, probably the worst knee I've ever heard of personally. I personally struggle with patella tendinitis, chronic degeneration in my patella tendon for over 7 years. Could go play, but always kept holding me back on and off, and got to a point where I needed to stop actually playing. And today we're going to talk about this, how we return to football.
Yep.
What's important, what most people don't actually tell you about getting back to football,
Yep.
the sport you love. So yeah, let me ask you the first question, right? Because people surely want to know someone that's been in chronic knee pain for 5 years, done like all the rehab, done the physio, and still wasn't able to return to sport. Actually was probably worse off at some point.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's kind of in a similar situation, went through the physio maybe already, isn't able to return to the sport, still pain? What would you?
Yeah, I mean, there's infinite advice to give out to someone like that.
Yeah.
If you're specifically talking through someone that's been through the traditional physio and is like, yeah, this hasn't worked, like I've tried to rehab the knee, like I'm lost, like there's other routes. Like most of the physios maybe haven't done it themselves. Like find someone that's done what you want to do and listen to them. So obviously for me in particular, Ben Patrick had done what I wanted to do. There's flies all over here, by the way, what we said. So if you see me smacking anything, that's it. But like I went through 4 different physios. Some misdiagnosed me, some gave me awful exercises. I had like one good one, and he went off to private physio because it was more money. Like I was at NHS physio, like I couldn't afford anything. So a lot of people in that situation where they have to deal with that. Some NHS physios are good, but the ones I had necessarily wasn't. But yeah, like I found Ben Patrick on YouTube, and he was talking about how he had meniscus, I can't remember his exact thing. He had like a partial kneecap replacement. Yeah, it's funny, I can't even remember his exact injuries, but he had a lot of injuries. He had a lot of knee surgeries. Yeah. He had a lot of messed up knees, and I saw him jumping off things and being able to handle his knee pain and handle all this force going into his knees, and he had years of knee pain. So I was like, wow, there's suddenly some hope, because obviously like when you're dealing with something like that for 5 years, and like I couldn't really walk too much without screws coming out of my knee, without like pain. I wasn't able to sit in a deep squat for years at a time. Like it's depressing and you lose hope. So seeing that, I was like, okay, cool. So that's why I try to make my videos how I do, because it's like every video it's like I had this, so like people like can be like, okay, maybe my situation's not so bad, or okay, I can relate to that, or he's done it, let me see. Like find someone who's done what you want to do, listen to everything they say, and you'll get some gems and you'll be able to do some good stuff.
Yeah, that would be your number one advice.
Probably, yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I can only say this is really what we're trying to do right here, because if you see us doing this, this is exactly how you found Ben Patrick, right? Talking about his story, showing off what he can do now, his results he's been getting with the people he's worked with as well, right? It's about being able to help yourself and the people, being able to actually give them the belief back. And that's like the second question I want to ask you. Like, how did you kind of get that belief back that you can actually truly fix that knee pain, like increase your knee ability to a point where your knee is not hurting anymore? Because there's no quick fixes, right? You increase your ability to a point where you can now play your sport again. How did you get that belief back? Because it took some time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked on the mind a lot recently, but that's where all the mind journey started. Like, you have to have the belief. Like, there's that quote where it's like, the only thing that makes something good is the belief you hold in it, your faith in it. And that's what, like when Jesus, here we go, Christianity, but when the woman that was bleeding came up to Jesus, she touched him and was like, I knew you were going to heal me. And he was like, your faith has healed you. It's like, if you have utter belief that something is going to heal you, like it's going to heal you more than if you don't have faith that is going to heal you. So it came with time. Like the first thing you do is like kind of start to see results, and the quick wins was like, I was experiencing pretty much knee pain every day for about 5 years. Sometimes it was worse, sometimes it wasn't. My alarm was like waking up in the morning, my knee like crunching into place, and like, so like dealing with that every day. I'd had knee pain 24/7. I'd done the sled for the first time, like I had a reduction in knee pain, and it's not like it fixed it instantly, but like just that reduction in knee pain, it was like, wow, cool. It's like I said on the call the other day, like you get a bicep pump and then your bicep looks bigger, and you're like, okay, that's what it's going to look like in the future. So the same thing with knees, like you get a pump in your knees from the sled and it doesn't hurt and something reduces your pain. It's like, okay, that's the vision of the future. That's what my knees could feel like if I keep doing this every day, if I keep going to the gym, if I keep doing the sled, if I keep doing these things. So it's just seeing those results and then believing, oh wow, this sled's gonna get me off pain. And then just Ben's belief in everything as well, of like him seeing that this has changed his life and seeing it's changing so many others. I got belief from his belief.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the main things.
That's cool. And I mean, now when people hear your story, that's where their belief comes from, right? The people you're working with, you told me, most of them tell you, okay, actually, like if you can do it, I should be able to do it as well. Yeah,
100%. And it's the belief that I give them in themselves, of like even helping you with your stuff. It's like you can do more. Like I don't know what you're saying. Like I've seen it a bunch of times now. Like I've seen it hundreds of times now. People getting better, people doing stuff, and I was like, I've dealt with every single setback you can think of. So when I see someone that can do more or can get better, I tell them, and that belief shines into them. So when you're getting coached, it's not just the coaching, it's not just a special program, it's, wow, he actually has the belief that I can do it, and then you start to get that belief, and then you start to build momentum, and
everybody really needs like kind of a mentor or someone that pushes them more, because like I've been able to help a ton of people, right? It's been an amazing year since a little bit more than a year now since I started this, and been able to help so many people, get great results for myself as well, feeling much better. But then it's still like, okay, I could push more. I actually like, and that's when someone that really ignites you with that belief, as you said, is going to be able to play a key role. And I hope this video, as you're watching right now as well, if you're in a similar situation, right, we believe in you. That's why we're doing this. This is really our mission, getting people from injury back to football. Right?
And you have two choices. You can either believe in yourself or not believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then like you're not going to get anywhere. If you like, there's no downside to believing in yourself, but there's downside to not believing in yourself. The only downside to believing in yourself is like it doesn't work, and then nothing's really happened. You're still in the same situation. But then if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to be in the same situation no matter what. Like you just don't have that option of getting out of the other situation. So consistency, the belief that it's going to work, is one of the most important things.
100%. I think just like if you're gonna want to come back to what you've been doing as a child, like this is most of the people, like when we get them the results, it's like, man, I feel like a child again. This is really what we want, right? But then again, you have to understand that you've had damage for years and years and years, and it's just gonna, first of all, not just gonna magically disappear and feel better, and it could feel different than the uninjured side forever. But that's not a problem if we address ability, right? And that is what our kind of training is all about. ATG, what we've learned, it's really about increasing ability. So no matter where you're starting, right? I was like, my knee, I didn't actually see any progress ever. Like all I did was icing and resting, avoiding. But that's not how you see progress, because as soon as you go back, you get set back again. So increasing the ability. So that what does increasing your ability mean? How would you explain it to people that maybe don't quite understand what it is?
For example, you just take the Patrick step up. If you go from a flat ground Patrick step up to a 6-inch Patrick step up without pain, you're increasing your ability. Your knee can now handle something that it wasn't able to handle before. And then if you're able to now handle, so like you're doing a Patrick step up like this, and this is how far your knee can go without pain. Maybe it's even here, like this is how far your knee can go without pain. If you can get it to the point where you're doing like 6-inch step ups and it's like this much distance, your knee can now go there. So when you're going down the steps and you get put into that position, it's not going to hurt anymore because you can do that in a Patrick step up. So that's pretty much what increasing ability means. It just means increasing the ability in the knee, your ability to do different exercises that put it under stress and just improve the overall strength and usage of the knee.
Yeah, and the good thing is about this, because like even if you have only 1% of ability, you think you're at the rock bottom, you can't do anything, or you're stuck at a certain level of ability, like you can still work on that. Let's say you have 30% of the ability, you think like you can increase it to 31% and go from there. And how would you say you find the level of ability you have right now, really making sure, because if you constantly tell yourself, I only have that level of ability, say 20%, and then you keep telling yourself that, but actually you have 40% already. Yeah. And then you work on these 20, 21, 21 percentages, but you could actually be doing more. Like how do you kind of find out that level of ability?
Yeah, so I like the way of programming of this, where it's like I'll program someone, say 5 sets of step ups, and it's like do 10 reps every single set and increase it each time.
Yeah.
And go until like 1 rep hurts. And if it starts to hurt, okay, stop. That's your threshold. But if your mind fails before your body, then you're screwed up. If you think, okay, like I've just done 4 kg on the step up, I probably can't do more. Like I'm just gonna leave it at that today. But then you could have done 10 kg. Like you're not gonna make as much progress.
Yep.
But someone that does the 4 kg and then does that for 10 reps and then's like, okay, I've done that for 10 reps, that felt good, let me try a little bit more weight, and then you do another 10 reps, you're like, oh yeah, it feels good, let me go some more weight. You don't stop at a certain weight unless it's like on the threshold. So you work until your top set. Say you pick a certain rep scheme of like 10 reps or 5 for the split squat, and you work up to that and you just do, okay, I do 5 reps body weight, 5 reps 5 kg, 5 reps 10 kg, and then you just keep building up until you get to the point where it's like, yeah, that was my top set. If I go any more, like I'm gonna get pain.
Yeah. And
you can actually measurably see that. But if you let your mind fail before your body, like you're screwed.
Yep.
Like if you don't go that extra percentage or whatever, and you say, okay, I might be able to do it, but I'm not sure, like
you won't find
do it and find out.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had loads of setbacks, and that's the benefit of working with a coach, because they can kind of tell you, okay, I can see how much you can do, I can see how much you can do, whatever. But on my own, I had a bunch of setbacks, but if I didn't have those setbacks, I wouldn't have been able to push my limits. Like setbacks happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to work for any pain, and you want to try and avoid setbacks, but I had a bunch, and it taught me a load.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love because the setbacks are, it's really how you see them as well. Like a setback is not a failure, or it's not like something you should be afraid of. I think that's what, like, because if you never like push your limits to a point where you can say, okay, now actually push my limits, you know it as well. And even if you feel it, right, it's not that the next day you're just gonna be going again as hard. Right, you need to get the body to recover as well. That's where the gains are made. You push, then you recover.
Yeah.
How would you structure maybe a day after a heavy knee session or injury, whatever?
It depends on how I feel. I'd usually just do some blood flow, maybe some light mobility, stretch out the area, do some flossing and do some banding knee. I pretty much do flossing and banding knee extensions every day, because it's not breaking down the tissues, but it's getting like blood flow to the area. But you don't need to. You can just rest. You can do some mobility, whatever you fancy. Yeah,
it's good. It's like keep the movement in though. Like you would say.
Yeah, like if you rest and you let your body like freeze up, it's gonna feel worse.
Yeah.
Like you wanna keep it moving to a certain extent.
100%. I mean, like for me as well with patellar tendonitis, right? The longer I sit or whatever, I used to just stand for a couple of minutes and then it would feel bad, right? So
yeah, and there's a difference between tendonitis and tendinopathy. Like tendonitis is this like over inflammation of the tendon, which usually it's not actually that, it's tendinopathy, which is breakdown of things. So people think that if I ice it and I get that inflammation down and I stop using it, then things are going to get fixed. But realistically, that's not the route. It's graded exposure. It's okay, so obviously this is putting the tendon under probably a lot of stress. That's directly hitting the patellar tendon. So if I can only do this much range of motion and that feels good, let's do that. But let's just do that movement and pump it for the blood. That's why the sled's good as well, because you're not getting into that eccentric even. So it's not even breaking down the tissues in the eccentric. So it's just concentric. Like you can't really do too much damage unless you push it real hard and like go through pain.
Yeah, but no matter where you start, like you have to find and you can find that level you can do pain free. Like if you can't even sled backwards or on a treadmill, like I have people say, okay, it's too hard, right? Then just go and walk backwards, bend the knee extensions.
I don't know what it is about bending knee extensions, but for me, like when I had my quad tendon pain, I couldn't do sled. It was killing on the sled. It was that bad, like it was killing on the sled. So I just done band knee extension. Band knee extension felt good. It's interesting. There's some level which you can do. Hold an isometric. Yeah. Like cool. Before we go into movement, hold an isometric. Yep. Okay, amazing. Yep. Can we do that? Can we strengthen the muscles below? Cool, amazing. We've done work. We're putting good work. Like
100%.
Keep going, whatever it is, whatever level it is.
Yeah, 100%. Because like you can do so many different things as well for particularly now knee in general, but like tendinitis is more of a thing. Okay, you're putting more load onto the tendon that the tendon can handle, like it gets inflamed, and if it continues, can have different reasons. But for me, a thing used to be as well having ankle sprains, right? So if you sprain your ankle, you're now your body, if you just do the normal stuff that most of the people do, which is icing, resting with the ankle as well, and not building that ankle up again, now your ankle is not going to be able to work properly, and more unnecessary force go up to your knee and keep on damaging the knee more. And like if you want to return back to your sport, there's so many forces. Like you want to have everything from the foot through your ankle, through your lower legs, tips, calves, everything strong as you can.
And I've had so many times that someone's gone through me at football, my ankle's got that thing where it's like, oh, I can't walk on it. I just heat to it, flossed it. In a couple of days, I'm good.
Absolutely, yeah.
People like let it go, they ice it and they make it so much, and then their recovery is like 2 months,
exactly,
or even more, and then they do it again. Whereas like you can literally just blood flow. Let's get the healing.
Absolutely.
Like Epsom salt bath with heat. Like
it's so funny because
so many things.
I've actually talked about this on my channel before. Like a client I had, Moshud, he rolled his ankle right after training. He wasn't able to, like he could not walk home properly because it hurt so bad. And then within 3 days, he was able to just normal.
Yeah.
Just by flossing.
This has happened with my knee. In Montenegro, I was doing some stupid stuff and I had a little bit of a knee thing in the back of my knee. Done flossing every day, done some elephant walks every day, started hitting split squats because squats hurt. Within 2 weeks, it was back to normal, complete normal. Yeah. And it's like, if I would have been like, oh no, I'm messed up, let me go see what's wrong with it, let me ice it, let me rest it, because obviously it needs rest, I wouldn't have been able to heal it how I did. Yeah,
100%. I mean, you know your body, should know your body well enough, or like try and get to know it better. Like after an injury, obviously you can give yourself some rest if you need to, and don't have to like jump straight into whatever you want to do to bring that blood flow, but don't avoid it longer than what's needed. Like typically after cooling, like after an acute injury, like a lot of swelling happens, a lot of pain. Once that's cooled down a little, like only takes like 1, 2, 3 days, depending on the injury obviously, but then you can already start bringing that blood flow back, moving the area in a range where it's not making it worse. And that's how you really just accelerate and improve, promote more healing as well, because there is the thing about icing where you say, okay, you're restricting the blood flow. It could even make the healing process slower, but even if it's just not adding anything to the healing process, why are you doing it then? Like, and that's a fact, because the body knows actually. That's why increasing your ability also works, because you're just putting your body into something and then the body does all the magic. It's not something external.
100%.
So yeah, there's really a bunch of stuff we can talk about when it comes to knee injuries, how you come back, getting back to your sport, and that's what we're gonna put out more in the future as well. I know people need this, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that, and we'll see us in the next video. Peace.